We're going to look at finding corresponding parts given a congruency statement. A congruency statement tells you a lot about the congruent triangles. You don't even need a picture of the two triangles as long as you have a congruency statement. You can find all of the corresponding parts that would be congruent in that statement. Let's look at the angles. Remember that each letter is going to represent an angle in the triangle. Triangle JKL has an angle J, an angle K, and an angle L. Triangle PQR has an angle P, an angle Q, and an angle R. The order of these letters is important. Since J is the first letter of this triangle and P is the first letter of the second triangle, it means that those two angles would be congruent. So just seeing that they're the first letters in the congruency statement, we can say that angle J is congruent to angle P. And then go to the middle letter. Since the middle letter of the first triangle is K and the middle letter of the second triangle is Q, I can say that angle K is congruent to angle Q. And then, of course, the last letters, L, would be congruent to angle R. Not only can you look at just the angles, you can look at the sides as well. I'm going to erase these markings real quick, and let's look at the sides. With sides, we know that we use two letters. So if we were looking at the side between angle J and angle K, that would be side JK. So side JK corresponds with P and Q. So we can say that JK is congruent to PQ. You could use the last two letters, KL. KL corresponds with QR in the other triangle. So we can say side KL is congruent to side QR. The last side would be the first and the last letter, JL. So JL would be congruent to the corresponding side. And again, we're using the same corresponding letters, so P and R. So without even having a picture, we were able to match all the corresponding parts that would be congruent. Write another valid congruency statement. So this is one congruency statement, and there's multiple that you could write, but all I'm going to do is just write this first triangle backwards. So instead of JKL, I'm going to call it triangle LKJ. So I'm going to say triangle LKJ is congruent to, and if I wrote that one backwards, I have to write the second triangle backwards. So I'm going to call this triangle RQP. That way I'm keeping all of those corresponding parts in the same order. Now, this is just one of the valid congruency statements. There are others. KLJ would be with QRP. QPR would go with KJL. So there's multiple ways that we could write congruency statements.